Welcome to Transfiguration in idyllic Oakdale. This is Justin Cordum with you this morning, and joined with me is the principal, Mr. Jacobson, Mr. J, the man, the myth, the legend.
Hey, how are we doing today?
Awesome. So I wanted to sit down with you, Mr. J, and just see how you're doing. This is, what do they call this, an unprecedented time? Are you sick of hearing that?
I am sick of hearing that. And this is the new normal, to wear a mask all day, every day?
All day, every day, everywhere. Go to sleep, wake up, mask.
Mask everywhere. Be safe.
Be safe, folks. But I just wanted to do a little check-in with you, see how you're doing. The numbers are rising. What are schools doing? Some public schools around us seem to be closing for a little while. But first of all, how you doing? Just in general, this is a weird year, and I'm sure, how long have you been the principal? At least co-principal.
Going into my third year this year as solo principal, and I was the co-principal 3 years before that as well, so roughly 3 to 5 years or so.
Do you count those as like half years?
You
should. You were full-on principal, though.
I should. I was also teaching at the time, so it was a challenge, but it was good. Got me some experience, and then obviously to do it by myself has been it's been a good experience.
And how are you doing, just in general? What's life like at the Jacobson house right now?
Things are going well at the Jacobson house. My wife works from home, so she's home all the time. But she's doing well. She's a quiet house, obviously, with our students at Transfiguration on campus, so she's happy about that. And life for me is good. Again, I get to see 194 students every day. I get to...
At least from the eyes up.
At least from the eyes up, and I know all their names from their eyes. It's been a challenge to learn all their names and just know you can only see their eyes. And with the winter coming, with the hats down low and the scarves on, it's a challenge, but it's great to see the students' faces and know that the joy they're having when they come to school every day.
You are always good with knowing everyone's name. Is that increasingly difficult? We've had a lot of new students this year, too. Is that just crazy?
It is a challenge. There's a couple brothers and sisters that I get mixed up when they're together because they look the same. Just seeing the eyes and trying to figure them all out. I got them all down. Preschool's a challenge. Still learning the preschool names, but I get to see all the other students every single day, so it's been a blessing.
I'm guessing a huge thing about teaching in general is kind of gauging kids' facial expressions. Do you know how this is just my curiosity. Hopefully it's some of the listeners' curiosities, and they'll be able to find your answers helpful, at least insightful. How is that going?
It is a challenge. Seeing the students, again, it's funny with the younger students. You can see their cheeks rise, and they say, "Are you smiling under that mask?" And you know that they are. They just have a smile of joy, but it's difficult because obviously everyone's masked, and to see that smile and to know that the glimmer in their eye, you can see that they're smiling just a little bit. So it's a different of a smiling eye rather than a smiling face.
Do you know of any kids that are sneaking snacks into their masks?
Some leftovers for lunch, possibly.
Oh, I found it advantageous to be able to just grab a couple chunks of carrot and just walk around with my mask on and not seem rude to anyone that I'm
not sure I want to give out this advice to my students. I would prefer that
okay, students, you don't
no
do that in the classroom.
No food in the mask, please.
No food in the mask? Is that a rule?
Yes, it is now. I'm added it to the handbook.
It is. Wow.
For safety purposes and for kosherness, I guess.
Some things we never thought we'd have to say, right?
Correct.
No food in the mask.
Please,
no trail mix.
Food in the mask.
They might rename some foods like mask mix or something. All right. What is it like to be a principal at this time? Like, do you talk with other principals about like, hey, what are you guys doing? How's it going over there? Do you guys have a rule about no food in the mask, or what do you do? How's it like being a principal, trying to not only, your main job is to take care of these teachers so that they can do the best job to take care of the kids. But I know you also have a gigantic love for every single kid that walks through the door too. So what are some of the, what is it like right now? What are some of the difficulties and blessings maybe?
It's a challenge to be a principal right now. Again, I am actively trying to keep our students safe and our staff safe, as well as, having parents that are going to call us and tell us what's up within their own lives and how we can use that information to keep everyone safe. So it's a difference. There's a difference of it. Again, getting into classrooms and seeing teachers every single day. Again, the classrooms are set. They're full. So it's difficult to spend too much time in the classrooms and see the students and see the teachers. But it's been I've been very blessed to really be a part of this time and being principal. So I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago I would have been afraid it would have been different, but I truly believe, again, the Holy Spirit's in our hallways. He guides a lot of my decisions. I'm praying and thinking about ways that we can get better in the current circumstances and the current protocols we have. But I do reach out to the principals of the Archdiocese every day. We have a hub kind of where all the principals are talking. I will bring up the trail mix and the mask and see if there's rules among the other archdiocesan schools to see if that is a problem. But no, we are in constant contact. We're in constant contact with the Archdiocese as well to talk about new and better ways to have our schools run and to make sure that we're doing the very best that we can to, remain safe and still learn in class. And, I think there are schools in our area that are making choices for their students, and I believe that for us, we're going to continue to move forward. We'll take it a day at a time. We'll take it a unique instance at a time, and we'll do the very best for our students and for our staff to, we're making Christian disciples, and then we're also learning face-to-face or even mask-to-mask is in person with the social aspect, and also the Christian aspect has been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's settled down a little bit? I mean, I know at the beginning of the year it was just crazy. We heard like everyone and their mom, literally, everyone and their mom's opinion about masks in the cafeteria or outside or what age or when they should be wearing them, how should they clean them. Kids going home with the wrong mask that they didn't come to school with. Like, have you found that, you've found some, like, regularity to some of those things, or has it just kind of calmed down a little bit, or has it ramped up? I don't even know.
First off, I get a shout out to my my kind of the Transfiguration task force that put together the protocols for our school. Again, we had a couple parents and a couple teachers, and Aaron Ethier in the parish office kind of got together with Phil to talk about how we can safely do this. And our plan has been good. It's been really good. I think we've added some changes around the way. We do have mask boxes that the students put their mask in instead of putting it on the floor, putting it in their pocket, or putting it other places. They put it in their box, and they can carry their box to lunch beyond. But with the winter months coming, again, the mask boxes are getting little, not soiled, but they're getting, again, there's a little residue in the boxes when we clean them every night, so we're trying to find a better option, whether it's a lanyard. They can have clips with their mask, and they can tuck it into their shirt if they go to lunch, or if they go outside, or if they go to gym. So we're trying to find other inventive ways to kind of push it forward. But it hasn't ramped down, but it's different. I think it's like, to give a story, so I have twins that are in 5th grade. I have boy and girl twins. One time I took my twins to Target. We were shopping. I ran into another lady that has twins, and they were older than my twins, and she said, "I would tell you that it gets easier, but it gets different." And I was just like, well, thank you for the advice. And I agree with that. I think we're in the same type of time with our COVID time here. Is that, again, is it easier? I mean, it's more normalized. Again, we know we have to wear a mask inside. Everyone knows it has to be above your nose. We continue to preach, again, to keep that safety. But at the same time, every day is different, again, because you hear the local media and you hear the local news. And you just want to, again, I want to stay within Transfiguration and do our best. And we'll go from there. So I think, obviously, there's a higher power I think God is with us and telling us what to do and how to do it the best we can. I know that these students are in a huge spot to learn and really understand that faith is huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge, and to have faith in God and what's going on, and know that there's a reason for all this that's going on.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons Transfiguration at least chose to be in person is because we're Catholic, and we believe that we are a community of people, and not just we don't just want to just send our kids somewhere or anywhere to just grab some education. That education is way more than just knowing stuff in a book or even just knowing stuff. I mean, the education of a human has human aspects, has virtue aspects, has moral aspects, and has educational aspects and faith aspects. It's everything, and you can't do that. I mean, you just can't do that virtually, honestly. And if unfortunately, if we ever had to go virtually or at home, you'd lose it, and I think we're going to start to see that in public schools or just in general, that we lose this communal aspect, and the human formation of a child is to be with other people. We're a communal people, where we are not live on our own type of people.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm very happy that we're having in-person school, and there's no one else on the planet I'd rather have in charge of it than you. Where do you, maybe this is personal, maybe the other people want to know too, where do you get your information? Because now there's like, everyone and their mom has information on something. Is there some place that you rely on, or are there people that you rely on to tell you, like, okay, well, or maybe you're calling the MDH when there's a case? I know that's the case. When we do have a case, we call the MDH and they give us advice. Is there advice? Are you looking at, recommendations from other schools or other places, or do you even not worry about most of that stuff and rely on, take care of who we have walking through the doors?
No, it's a little of both. Again, there's a lot of information, obviously, from a lot of different sources. So we stay with Minnesota Department of Health. They're the primary for us, obviously, working with the Archdiocese as well. If we have other questions that don't make sense from the Minnesota Department of Health, I'll contact the Archdiocese and say, hey, this is the situation we have. What is your guidance? What guidance can you give us in this situation? And they get back to me very quickly. But otherwise, there is, again, between the CDC and other World Health Organizations and beyond, and then with personal people that are just having ideas of what they could do, it's very challenging. But again, we try to stay the course with our plan. Again, does our plan work at another school? I am not sure. We're really unique to ourselves, and I think one thing that kind of the Catholic Schools Center for Excellence kind of says is, every Catholic school is a unique school, and that they're the best school of the school that they're at. They're not, you can't compare schools to schools, but again, I am always looking out for other feedback and what other people are doing, and they're doing well, and then I try to figure out, does it fit our mission? And does it fit what we're doing here? And some do, some don't. Mm-hmm. But again, staying on mission, really knowing that this is where we're supposed to be. This is where our kids are going to learn the very best, and then making changes accordingly. Again, there's little things that could happen over the next couple of weeks to put a change in our plan, again, with the winter months coming. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, kids were outside a ton. It seemed like in the fall now? Yeah, the fall.
Sort of, the fall,
I almost said spring.
It is kind of the spring.
It's a new spring every couple of weeks here. It gets 70 degrees in November.
Absolutely. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, which is great.
So is there still a plan to try to get kids out as much as possible, to get outside, even if it's in the middle of the day, just to run around in the snow and have some fun? And
absolutely. There's all the teachers have an opportunity to go outside to use the backyard. We have a great nature preserve in the backyard. They can head out to the parking lot, again, and play on the playground, but get some time outside, get some fresh air, be able to demask, get out, run around, enjoy each other's company, then put the mask on and come back inside. But everyone's looking for those breaks. Again, little breaks here and there, whether it's, again, we have FIAD 3 times a week, which has been fantastic for the students, but really getting the students outside to get that fresh air, to let them breathe, enjoy, and be with each other.
Do you think that's something we're going to do more in the future? Do you think we've actually found this to be a benefit, that our kids actually do better when we run outside a little bit every couple hours or so?
I think so. I think there's naysayers out there that say obviously the academic areas are more important, and I understand. But I truly believe that movement, it freshens the mind. And it gives the students, obviously, a time to get out and get rid of some of the energy, and then come back in and focus in on the things they need to focus on. I think movement is just huge.
Yeah.
In the life of a student.
Well, this is coming from a former
If I had teacher. Absolutely. Both of us.
But yeah, I don't know if I can consider myself a FIAD teacher. I filled in. It's a long-term sub.
But you have amazing skills. I mean, when you can teach across the curriculum, Mr. Quarter, you can do it all.
Yeah, I taught a lot of sharks and minnows.
Yeah.
I'm real good at teaching sharks and minnows.
Hey, students got to learn how to play tag effectively. Play fair, right?
And line tag.
Right.
You taught me, I think I learned more from your tips that year than the kids learned from me. So I'm very thankful.
Well, we just got to do your best, right? We did great.
Yowza.
You learned.
Are there some things that we learned in the maybe the last couple of months you never thought would be on your periphery, or you just like, what the? I mean, we learned this in the last month or two, or are we just kind of plugging?
Well, a little bit of plugging, but I think I think one thing we learned from March to now is, again, I think getting back to family. Really understanding that, again, with their devices and with our busyness and with the kids being in 9 different sports and here and go and eating on the way, that this kind of not having so many sports, not having so many opportunities, having some family time, sitting down and having a meal and knowing you don't have to rush off in 4 minutes to get to the next gym or the next place. It's been a grounding feeling that, again, that to reach back to the family and really spend more time with your own kids and your own wife. And have a meal and talk about your day, kind of like in the olden times, how you talk about your day and how things are going. But I think that's been a hidden blessing to again, really back to family life and those things. Yeah,
for Teresa's 3rd birthday, we got her an indoor trampoline.
Oh, nice.
It's like probably way too big for our house, but I don't care. She just loves jumping, and she loves jumping on our couches, which we don't care in our house. We don't buy anything that's worth anything.
So now she can get up and try to touch the ceiling and touch the doorways.
Heck yeah. I don't care. Amazing. She can jump through the roof. I don't care. And then we'll put it's like an indoor-outdoor thing. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, you're with your kids all day. You quickly realize these electronics are not helpful for them, and they oddly get addicted to them quite quickly. And way quicker than adults can. Like adults can kind of just walk away from things a little bit easier. We got to be honest with ourselves. We get addicted too, but kids, man, they can get addicted to a phone or an iPad in like an hour. I mean, it's like they ball their face off. They can do that with Play-Doh too, but you can tell when a kid walks away or even has a hard time walking away from a tactile thing like Play-Doh or blocks or Lego or whatever else. They just function better than walking away from a TV or electronics. It seems like something's like got a hold of them almost when you're trying to take away an iPad from a kid.
Right, and all the focus is on the iPad too. And I think we find even with myself, when I'm on my phone, it's not a time to rest. Even though I want to rest, if my phone's on, I know my brain's working too hard. And I really got to turn off the device and just really let my brain rest, so I can be refreshed for the next day or the next thing that's happening. But when you're always on your device, when you're always on your iPad, I know students too, they're just not getting. Well, I'm coloring. This is rest. It's not rest. You need to have that time away from your device again, maybe to play with Play-Doh. So at least it's working a little bit. But again, to have that good rest time, to have a rest time activity that's not with a device, it's a challenge, but it's so needed. It's so needed to do so.
What are some of those things that your family did this summer that you're able to get out of the house? I know there was some word of Luke golfing quite a bit this summer. What are some of those things you guys are going to be doing?
Yeah, as a family, went out golfing quite often. My son loves to golf. My daughter got into golf as well. They both took some lessons at the ponds. So they both, it was pretty unique. They just kind of threw them out there and the kids just played. And I think there's a couple other Transfiguration students that were there too. So they got to play with their friends and they really got to learn together, which was great. And then, Luke got to beat me, which is unfortunate.
He beat you on a 9-hole?
He did at the ponds.
Wow.
Having the red tee box for them is pretty nice. And then, he's pretty good.
Do you hit from the red then too?
No.
Oh, okay. No. You hit from your tee box. He hits from his.
Yep, he's good.
And he beat you.
Yeah,
he's the next lefty. Does he hit lefty?
He doesn't. He hits righty.
Oh, I thought he was going to be the next Phil.
No.
Oh, come on.
Couldn't find lefty clubs. No,
is Bubba Watson a lefty too?
I believe it.
God, he could have been the next Bubba. Oh man.
No, he can golf. It's good. We had a lot of family time. Spent a lot of time with the cabin. it was good. It was good to spend that time, and obviously I spent a lot of time at school. A lot of preparing. I finished up my class, my School of Divinity Catholic Leadership course. I finished that this summer, which is fantastic. So that was great. And then again, family time and travels and a lot of cabin time, which is good to get away.
What's the plan for the winter?
Hunker down.
Snow forts and...
Yeah, snow forts. Yeah.
There's some nice hills by you guys?
We got a few.
Any
ice
nice skating
hills
in the family? I know at 6'11" or 10, it's kind of hard to ice skate.
7'6" on skates, no thank you. But I know my kids, obviously Luke and Lexi, I think they'd love to skate. Maybe with my wife. She's more of a skater than myself.
Really? I've done it once, and I think I did it. I was on my butt most of the time. I was like 10. I've never put skates on.
No,
again.
Me neither.
I think I'm like, 6, 9, or 10 with skates on, and
it's a long way down.
If you haven't tried, don't try when you're 40. You're probably gonna break something. Oh boy!
Use those muscles you don't normally use.
Yeah,
I bet
I'll skip those muscles forever. I'm cool with that.
Absolutely.
I'll play basketball on Wednesday nights. We got to get you back. Let's get this on a recording that you're going to come back.
All right, I will work on coming back. Again, I have the challenge that I want to go home at some time. And again, I got to come back, but I'll figure it out. I will come back and play a little bit.
I think Luke's almost old enough or good enough to just play with the old guys now on Wednesday nights. So you might have to just stay to let Luke play.
I think that would be good. He needs some experience with some better players and some
he needs to get
players.
A shot block. That's what.
He needs to get swatted a little bit.
Yeah,
get that ego back in check.
Nice. What do you want people to know? Like, if there's a way to contact you or give constructive criticism, or are there things that we're doing here that maybe people don't know? Is there something you want the audience or our families to know that you simply, or even just the general public to know about our school that they might be wondering about during this time?
We have an awesome Catholic school. Again, biased as I'm the principal, but I believe that our teachers are vested in the mission at Transfiguration through Christian discipleship, academic excellence, and great love, which we focus on every day within our classrooms. But again, it's such a great option to be here and be connected to a church where we can pray in the morning. We can pray before class. When we're having a tough day, we can take a deep breath and then pray again, really figure out ways that, again, how can the Lord help us? But I think we're put in situations every day where the Holy Spirit is guiding us to make the right choice. And I think with our students, that's one thing we do every day is we talk about, again, having that opportunity to make the right choice, to be a kind neighbor, to help someone out when needed, but to be put in those situations and then really know that your faith is at work. And again, it's not just at church, but it's that you can actually use it in the classroom when you're sharing items, when you're helping others. It's been a fantastic year so far, and really knowing that you have this option. And again, we talk about being the place on the East Metro that's bringing and leading all those to Christ. It's a huge deal, and I truly believe that we're doing that not only at our church but also at our schools. Again, as a Transfiguration community. And I think as COVID moves on, we can have more opportunities for community and community events, just coming out and spend time. And I think the biggest thing is that you have to take the first step and either come back to Mass or take the first step and join a group, whether it's within the church or within the school, but really become a part of our community. Our community is a great bunch of people that are prayer warriors and that are, giving us the success we're having so far within the church and also the school.
What's a way that the listener can help? What's a way that the listener can help out the school or maybe even ways at the church? I know that substitute teachers are they're hard to find right now.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just substitute teachers. I mean, if a teacher's out, they're usually out for about 10 days of school.
Correct.
On average. So, counting the weekends and whatnot. So, is there a way that they can get a hold of you to help out? Are there ways that they can help out for recess? What are ways that people can help out with the school right now, other than, giving us a couple $1 million, which
would be fantastic.
Which would be fine, but we still would need substitute teachers even with $1 million.
Correct.
Right.
Right now our primary focus is on recess. So again, right now our teachers are covering recess. We also have some church personnel that are covering recess. We're all a team that are working together to cover everything. But obviously help's always needed. If you want to help, please, you can contact the front office, I'm a part of the front office, so it's tiger@transfigurationmn.org. That'll be an email address that you can send to the school, and the front office or myself will get back to you to talk about how you can bring your gifts and talents to our school. But, right now, again, your support, your prayers, they're huge. Praying for our students to learn, praying for our families to stay healthy, and to continue to make great strides.
Yeah, it's a great point. We believe in the power of prayer here at Transfiguration. It might sound silly for us to say that, but I want you to actually think it and believe it. We don't just pray to exercise our intellect. We pray because we believe in the power of prayer. So if you're at home and you don't feel like you can do anything or help right now, you can. You can pray for our students. You can pray for our teachers. You can pray for the administration. You can pray for Mr. J, the church. You can pray for all these families too that are going through all this uncertainty with their jobs, with school, with sports, with a lot of different things, with their own relatives. We believe in the power of prayer here at Transfiguration, and we are asking you to pray for all of those things. And maybe you have a special intention to pray for. Go for it. Please add Transfiguration to your prayer list and keep it in there. And also believe in the power of prayer. Believe that Christ hears our prayers. He tells us that if we knock, the door will be opened. And what good father doesn't give the gift that their kid wants when they're asking for it? And Jesus tells us himself, for goodness sake. So we ought to be prayer warriors. So along with helping out here at the school and everything else, you can help out by smashing that like button, by sharing this podcast, by subscribing, by giving us a rating on iTunes and Spotify and wherever else you're listening to it. Give it a rating. Obviously give it a 5 because it's awesome. But, give us a rating. Tell other friends about it. We're trying to have a podcast here once a week. It's a little sparse sometimes if we're crazy busy or whatnot. But please share this podcast. Share it with families that maybe are thinking about coming to this school. Share it with people that haven't been able to come back to Mass for a variety of reasons. We want to share about things that the people here in the East Metro care about. And this isn't just a general podcast. This is a podcast for our people. And our people aren't just the people that walk through the doors, but it's the people here in the East Metro, the whole East Metro. We're claiming it for Christ, and we want him to be well known and loved. And we'd love for people to come through these doors and go through our school. Yes, we're biased, but we think it's the best one around. And we are committed to continue to make it the best one around. Any other final thoughts or shout-outs? Shout out to your wife, obviously. She's doing an awesome job. Any other shout-outs you want to?
I'd like to give a shout out also to my mom. She does our extended day in the mornings from 6:30 to 8:30. She's also a part librarian. She cleaned up our library for our students to use. So she's been a huge cog in my life. Obviously, been a mama's boy for a long time, but she wants to be around this school. She wants to be around this place, not merely because I'm the principal here, but she really. Obviously, she also believes in the power of prayer, but she kind of got me started in my Catholic faith. So give a big shout out to my mom.
Understandably a mama's boy. She's a great mom.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She gives me crap every morning, which is fantastic. Keeps me on the right way. Lastly, again, I think that everybody should pray again and pray for all the students within the East Metro and beyond. Again, there's a lot of students and teachers that are struggling due to this pandemic fiasco. But again, pray for those students that don't have the means to get education and those things right now too. It's a big need. Again, this is not merely for our students, but for all students that are going through, whether it's college and beyond. This is a different time for a lot of different people.
Great point. Well, it was wonderful to have you, Andy. I hope we didn't keep you too long. You can get back to caring for those kids and loving your teachers. Lord, we ask you to be with us today. We ask you to continue to share your blessings with us. Help us to be ever mindful of how much you love us. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end.
Amen.
God bless.
Hey, happy Jesus Monday.
Happy Jesus Monday. Get it.
See ya.